Hello and welcome back to Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Allie Clifton alongside the Hall of Famer, big game James Worthy, the 7-time champ, big shot Robert Horry. Happy Sunday. Good to see the both of you.
What's happening? Happy Sunday.
Yeah, it's a great Sunday.
What's up, Rob?
Man, everything's good. They started out great, man.
You had some parking issues or something?
A few. I was a little disturbed by a couple of people in the parking lot.
There's not enough spaces out there, man.
I know,
I
man.
just want y'all to know.
Good.
The lesson I learned in life today that I want to give to all of you is that it's okay to color outside the lines. If that comes to parking outside the lines, every once in a while it's okay. And KYP, some people like to put you on blast when you do, okay?
We just like to have fun here at work. You got to keep it lively.
Yeah, indeed. Lucky me. Last night, the Lakers snapped. We're moving on. What felt like their worst losing streak of the season by putting up a dominant performance against the Warriors. Everyone was involved in the win, but the Big Three exploded on offense and led the charge. They combined for 66 of the 129 points and knocked down 10 of the team's 19 three-pointers. A much-needed win, certainly. Big game. You were here last night. We saw J.J. Redick make an adjustment to the Big Three rotation, which was a better game overall for them. Are you finding that maybe small tweaks like that could be what kind of catapults their next level of chemistry?
Yeah, I think the tweaking part is something that's necessary, because as much as they try it, and they've been successful, but not enough with that trio. So it's been a lot of conversation about, handling the ball. Luka really needs the ball in his hands to, be productive. Austin Reeves may be just as productive. He gets to the line, 10, 15 times sometimes, and just getting to the line really affects the game. It slows the game down. It gives you a chance to get your defense set. So I think the experimenting with, the last game and what he's going to do with that trio is good, because you got to figure out how to make it work, whether they're on the floor together or whether it's just two of them, or and how they enhance other players around them.
I think it's good. You always have to tinker with lineups, tinker with rotations, especially after you lost a couple of games in a row, to try to figure it out. And sometimes you just have to sit down with your players and say, hey, man, how do you feel about A, B, C, and D? And I think you look at players as dominant as the three that we're talking about. It's nothing wrong with sitting down and say, hey, what if we try this and what if we try this? And I really like this. Now we're going to see if you can be consistent with it, with this role, because one time, yeah, 2 times, yay.
It only takes 2 times.
Yeah. For me, one time, 2 times, yay.
And also, Golden State was, they had limits. They were without players. So you really get a good look at it against, a healthy team, a good plus 500 team. So it's yet to be seen, but it so far, I mean, it's a good start.
I think it was the perfect team to do it against. A team, sometimes you don't want to try it against, let's say if you're playing, OKC, but when a team is, depleted as the Warriors were, let's try it and see if it works and see how the players like it.
Kind of from last night, from the way he managed the game, and I'm talking about Luka-Doncic, 6 of his 8 assists came in the first half. Typically, you see him kind of go off from a scoring perspective in the first quarter. This one came in the third quarter. He had 16 alone in that quarter. The last time he faced the Kings big game, he went off for 42. What do you expect to see on the second night of a back-to-back from Luka?
I love the fact that he's starting to realize that, I don't know about today's game, but historically, guards' responsibility are to kind of make sure that people who need to get involved are involved. And I think he did a good job of that in the last game. As you mentioned, he had, 6 of his assists early. And because Luka can always get his. He can get it in the first quarter, he can get it in the fourth quarter. So I think he's really, wising up to make sure he gets 8, when Rui comes back, allowing Austin to handle the ball some. So I think that's a smart move on his part.
I love that, because you got to think about all the great players who play this game. They set the table. No matter what position you're in, you set the table. And once you set the table, it makes it easier for you, because now people are like, oh, my guy's hot. I can't leave him. Because there's not a player out there, when your guy starts scoring, and you're like, well, I ain't helping out because I look bad because my player is scoring. So I think with Luka, if he's able to do that, then he can go out and get his, and everybody on the defensive end is like, okay, what do we do now? Because they want to know who to guard.
It also assures you that you don't lose somebody. Like, you don't lose 8 for 0 points or 2 points, or Rui for 3 shots. Because sometimes if they're not, like you say, you just want to touch it sometimes. Sometimes players get lost. They don't know how to go get offensive rebounds yet. And that's,
That's one thing I really love about playing in the triangle, because when Phil would feel that, he would say 4 pass, and we would run a play 4 pass. You cannot shoot the ball until you run a pass it 4 times. Everybody got involved. And even though, we know Kobe and Shaq was going to take the majority of the shot, we felt engaged, and we were able to play a little bit better.
Oh, that's interesting. Could you imagine doing that today?
They'd be like, they do it now, it's just dribble weave.
Just
the same, essentially.
look for the weakest link, comes to the pick. But the game is designed, or it always has been. The offense, if you run it properly, the defense is going to have to give you something at some point. So that's why I like the 4-pass team. Do you remember the old medicine ball days?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You played with the medicine ball?
No.
You never practiced with a medicine ball?
No.
It's a ball you can't dribble. You can only pass. It's heavy. And coaches, when you dribble too much, here's a medicine ball. And it's a big, heavy leather ball, and you just pass, and that's all you could do. It's heavy
Ours was get on the line. He didn't pass. They didn't even give us a chance.
Did that too.
From Luka to Austin. The last time, it feels like forever ago, but the last time Austin Reeves faced the Sacramento Kings, you have to go back to October, without Luka, without LeBron, 51. I think in totality, when you just think of where Austin started from being undrafted to a moment and where he is with his game now, isn't it?
Hey, when he has the freedom and he's the one, when he's Neo out there, he's amazing. And his ability to just control the game with the dribble and the shot, and also a good passer. You want to see more of it, but we're just loaded offensively, and he doesn't get the opportunities. But I'm sure he could get, what do you have, 51?
51.
I'm sure he could get, a bunch of 40s if he wanted to, if he had the opportunity.
Hey, it's always amazing. Your career high always comes when someone that usually scores a lot is not playing. Your career high probably came against when someone Magic,
40, nobody was playing.
See, it's so much easier to get buckets, Allie, but I think when you have him and Luka together and the way they played last game, it's like, I love the plays that they was running for AR to get him involved and getting shots going down. To me, when you get more people involved in the offense and not just dribble weave, because everybody in the league does that, it makes it difficult for the other team to guard, especially with AR. He's one of the most craftiest guys in the game. And I probably, if they did a list of the best players that would in the NBA that went undrafted, he's probably at the top of that list.
Top of the list or a part of?
Probably top of that list. Probably top 3.
Okay.
But you got he's still got more room to work, so he's probably gonna move at the #1 by the time he ends his career.
Which is fun. Here's your Lakers status report when it comes to injuries. LeBron James has been listed as questionable, as we mentioned, due to foot arthritis. Rui Hachimura no longer on the injury report. On the Kings side, the Lakers will not have to worry about containing Sacramento's best scorer in Zach LaVine. He and Domantas Sabonis both out for the remainder of the season. All right, for more, we head downtown, Crypto.com Arena to check in with Lakers reporter Mike Trudell. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Allie. Nice to see you guys, as always, and welcome downtown. So LeBron is shooting just behind me. He is just out of frame. Looks like he always does when he's shooting, so that means probably a good sign that he's out on the floor, but we'll see. Right? He won't actually make a decision until he gets back in the locker room. He talks to Mike Mancias. They talk to JJ and the staff. So stay tuned at this point on LeBron James, a true game-time decision. Now, as for the Lakers, obviously, Allie, coming off of a solid win last night, really wire to wire. The shots were going in early. They kept going in, and the defense was pretty good as well, save for a couple of times that Golden State got backdoor, got behind the last line of defense to get a couple of layups. So that's where we started with JJ Redick. What did he think of the defense, and what does he hope translates tonight? And he'll weigh in on LeBron being a game-time decision as well. So here's the head coach.
Overall, we did a really good job of being physical when we switched. Certainly made some mistakes, but that was really good. Outside of some blunders in the first half, we did a decent job of getting back and setting our defense as well, and just kind of keeping everything in front of us. I think it was a little bit better improvement than the last time we played the Warriors, when I think we gave up 8 back cuts that game. But yeah, the defense was good last night.
JJ, do you have any update on LeBron for tonight?
he'll go through his warm-up. He'll be a game time.
There's a chance you could have everybody tonight. Have you seen any signs of continuity, particularly with the main kind of characters being on the court? Is there anything you point to as like...
They're a plus for the season on the court together. How about that? Got that note from Wiv this morning. That's awesome. Those three guys, I think, in a few of these games have really tried to establish early just like the ball movement. Then Luke comes in and he's really beneficial to that. And we got guys playing really good basketball. Jake has played really well since the All-Star break. Luke's playing well. So there's a lot of good signs.
All right, there's the head coach. There's LeBron. You can see him right behind me getting his free throws up. So once he gets back in the locker room, Allie, we should have more on that. Otherwise, it's good to have Rui Hachimura back in the lineup. Of course, missed the last 2 games with an illness, and he will be ready to go. Now, the Kings, a lot of guys not playing. Okay, I'll just leave that to you, Allie. You can kind of go up and down the roster. It's more productive probably to just argue who is playing. But remember, they hit every 3 that they took the last time the Lakers and the Kings met. So that'll be a main focus for JJ's group tonight.
There are a lot bigger problems if the 14 and 47 Kings are beating you tonight. Thanks so much, Mike Trudell. We will look for that status update on LeBron later in the show. Lakers and Kings tip things off at 6:30 right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Sharpshooter Luke. Welcome back to pregame. Zach LaVine out tonight. Will miss the remainder of the season after undergoing a surgery to repair a tendon tear in his finger. He averages just under 20 against the Lakers in his career. The same goes for Domantas Sabonis, who had surgery to repair a torn meniscus in his knee. He is averaging a double-double in his meeting versus the Lakers. So with the Kings shorthanded, it really does leave DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk, guys like Russell Westbrook, obviously, the same 3 that led the Kings to a victory over the Lakers back in January. They are 2-17 in their last 19. How do the Lakers avoid, though, what is something we all know in the NBA as a trap game?
Better take them seriously. The Lakers have had enough games. We just saw one. Rob just mentioned us, the Suns game without Dillon Brooks and Booker. Guys are in the NBA for a reason. They're good, and if you disrespect them, and if they sniff out that you're disrespecting them, boy, they're really going to knock it to you. But this should be a game that the Lakers should win. They do have DeRozan, Monk off the bench, Carter, guys like that, but you can't disrespect anybody. You got to come out as if they're one of the top teams in the league and play accordingly. Hard. So you can sit out that 4th quarter, man.
Well, there's 3 guys on this team that kind of be looking at the Lakers cross-eyed. Think about it. One guy who grew up here in DeMar DeRozan, probably wanted to play for the Lakers, but now he up in Sacramento. And then 2 other guys that used to play, Monk and that guy right there, Westbrook, they looking like, oh, okay. Sometimes all you need is a little bit of motivation. So the Lakers need to be aware of this. We know how Malik Monk is one of the great scorers in the game, but he's up and down. Don't let him get going, because when he gets going, it's hard to stop it. And so you got to come out with the focus. Don't think about, oh, we played last night. Don't think about any of that. Just think about, jump on them early. And then, like James just said, load manage in the 4th quarter.
Not thinking about last night, to that point, 4 and 5 are the Lakers on the second game of back-to-backs this season. Moving on, when you look at the Laker bench production from last night, we kind of talked to a responsibility falling on Luka, who has the ball in his hands a lot, to get others involved. And early as we saw last night, you think the bench contributing 51, guys like Luke Kennard, Jake LaRavia leading the way. I just think how much, too, it's one thing for Luka, for LeBron, for Austin to empower their teammates, but it's another to be able to execute when the ball finds you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think it's all due to getting everybody back together, for a period of time. They haven't had that. Guys have been out, and guys from the bench have had to come and start and step up. So I think they, finally getting, their real rotations, especially off the bench. And when the ball is moving, every time they're in that 27, 28, 29 assist mode, especially if Ayton is getting his touches in the paint, they're pretty good. Jake is aggressive. I like to see him be a little bit more aggressive. Kennard, I want to see more volume of threes from him. So, yeah, the bench is going to have to sustain or, regain whatever the starters do. So, yeah, it's critical. You look around the NBA, the bench is it's critical, Rob.
Yeah, when you look at the Lakers bench, there's not really one player over there that can create his own shot. You think about what AR, Luka, and LeBron can do. They can create their own shot. So you really have to set the table for most of these guys, especially the guy who's on the screen now, Luka-LeBron, because we see how good he is from shooting three. We see how when LeRaver's involved, he's engaged, he plays better defense, he's active, he's getting steals, he's diving on the floor. So you have to be able to set the table for these other people, because if they don't eat, it's going to make it different for you, because everybody knows that it's all about three guys, and then they can like help defense. So you got to make it about all the five guys on the floor at all times.
And including in those five guys, just in LeBron James will play tonight. What's our tracker at for the big three? We have 15 games now? This will be their 15th game played together?
All season?
All season. 15, 16, somewhere around there. But nonetheless, good sign. The 41-year-old will suit up tonight, second night of a back-to-back, taking on the Sacramento Kings. Lakers and Kings tip things off at 6.